Today we're going to be looking at 10 players that you can pick up off the waiver wire this week who are shooting up the board due to a change of circumstances with their team. We're going to look at the news, the facts, the data with all these players, but what you really need to do right now is click that subscribe button. Tap it with your finger on your phone, click it with your mouse, do whatever you got to do, because every day we're deep diving players, we're looking at the waiver wire, we're helping you set those lineups, we're helping you with trades, we're going deep on some of these players just so you can get to know some of these guys who are on the come up, who might blossom later in the year. Hit that subscribe button, stop missing out, and we're going to be looking at the waiver wire for week 6. And RoShaun Johnson, come on down. We've been waiting for him all year as one of those rookie lottery tickets. Khalil Herbert's hurts. He's going to be out for a bit. He had a concussion last week, but that was a Thursday game. He might be back in time or available for the next game. We have to see. We got a little bit of an extended time for him to heal up and get through concussion protocol. All through the season, he's had a 31.4% opportunity share, 2.4 targets per game, but we could see that ramp up a little bit with Herbert out, averaging 10 routes per game. That could ramp up too if he's getting more opportunity. 7 fantasy points per game. That could ramp up as well. The thing about this, he is on the Bears. The Bears are in weird game scripts. The opportunities are weird on the Bears. Everything with the Bears in this offense is weird because it's not stable. It's not a consistent team. We had some good moments with this team this last couple weeks from fantasy standpoint, but still, RoShaun Johnson does have some upside. Good size adjust athleticism. First running back drafted on day 3 in the 4th round. Got good pop off the step. Catch the ball a little bit out of the backfield. Can do some things. We need to see it come together. This is a good opportunity for him to do so. Maybe we get something out of him. But again, this is a lottery ticket running back that a lot of people are looking to cash in on. And hopefully he's back in time. If not, Devont Foreman might be there. He's got 21 snaps on the season. But he's been productive off and on throughout his NFL career. Very productive at Texas during that final year. And he will get opportunity with Herbert out nonetheless. He will be getting more snaps, more touches, more volume. But we don't know to what degree. And it really depends on RoShaun Johnson. So if you want touches, you need touches. And that's it. You just need the touches because you're hurting. You're in a deeper league. You don't have running backs. Your running backs are done. You were living off Devon A-Chain. Now he's out. Now you're wondering what to do. Maybe a guy like Foreman, maybe anybody who's getting touches really, see what happens. But he has been able to come out of nowhere in some instances, score some fantasy points here and there during some times in his career. So that's something you might get out of Devont Foreman. He's not a guy you're expecting big things out of because you're not. You're just not doing that. But some people are hurting more than others. Now Josh Downs, things are on the up for him, even though they've kind of been on the up throughout the year. 6.6 targets a game, 20% target share. You want that from your wide receivers. That is very good for a rookie wide receiver who plays 83% of his snaps in the slot. Gardner Minshew dishes the ball around. This is a good fit. This wide receiver quarterback duo goes well with each other. Whenever Minshew is in, we see Josh Downs' numbers increase. We see the pace increase. We see more targets going to him in the slot. We're seeing more opportunities. Josh Downs could be a get for somebody who needs a wide receiver. One of the hot waiver wire picks of the week, Amari Demercado, is going to be a guy people are going to be looking at. James Conner, knee injury. Keaton Ingram missed last week with a neck injury. He might be back sooner than later. We got to deep dive that injury some more. But Demercado, next man up, getting touches in this offense. I know some people don't want to touch running backs off the Cardinals, but some people need touches. Some people need opportunities in an offense just to set a lineup, just to have some depth. This could be a guy for you. We need to watch James Conner, the extent of things. We do have some good size adjusted athleticism with Demercado, so we have to pay attention to see what he's doing on the field. Again, touches are touches, and you got to take them however you can get them. Keaton Ingram's another guy you need to be paying attention to. I don't see anybody really talking about him, and I think they just don't pay attention to the draft that much or college football. But he was a guy doing some things at Texas, had some production, transferred to USC after Bijan Robinson was going off, did some things there, but he's a bigger running back who can catch passes out of the backfield, moves laterally well. If given the opportunity, he could score fantasy points due to his receiving ability and check down status. Nothing grandiose, nothing huge, but he can give you that opportunity due to size-adjusted athleticism. Another running back to pay attention to. Jameson Williams played 28 snaps last week at 46.7% share, had 3 targets, 11% target share, ran 15 routes, saw just 3 air yards. They kept it short on him. He is an upside play. He's a lottery ticket wide receiver that should be rostered in every 12-man league as a lottery ticket. If you're not into lottery tickets, stay away. If you just need short-term production, and you might want to go somewhere else. But he's a lottery ticket nonetheless, and he's a guy that could go to moon, could give you some splash weeks. I look at him as another Will Fuller, one of those Will Fuller effect wide receivers where you get nothing, splash game, nothing, splash game, and that's just probably what we're going to see when we look back at his full body of work over his NFL career. Jalil McKinnon is rostered in just half the leagues on ESPN, so maybe still available in some leagues, so I got to talk about him. More than likely, if you follow this channel, he's rostered. More than likely, but played 33% of snaps last week, had a 54.2% opportunity share, saw 4 targets, 14.8% target share, scored 17 fantasy points, almost 18, was productive, had that touchdown, looked like he's the guy who's going to carve out a bigger role in this offense, even with Devont Williams being back soon. Looks like he's going to be able to do something down the line. We got to see what the opportunity share is going to be once Williams is back. But still, if you need a running back, and if he's available, or if you have him, if you're wondering whether or not to keep him, it looks like he's going to be able to get some touches down the line. Looks like he's earned more workload, and you're probably going to have to hold him to see what's going to happen here in the near future, but things are looking good. Now we're looking at Tyjae Spears. We talk about him a lot. 50% snap share, 31.9% opportunity share, 3.8 yards after contact per attempt, 3.8 targets per game, and a 13.5% target share. This is a low volume passing offense, though, and he's running 12 routes a game. He is getting work. He is getting opportunity, and he splashed last week with 16.9 PPR fantasy points, scored a touchdown, and I imagine he'll score a few more touchdowns this season. And if something happens to Derrick Henry, he'll get more opportunity because the team obviously trusts him. He's a 3rd-round pick with a lot of upside, very productive in college, had some big moments, looked good at the Senior Bowl, very explosive, can be used in the passing game. He's a guy that you can add to your roster as a lottery ticket or even a standalone hope and pray option if you need that. Maybe that's something you're into. Maybe you're in a deeper league. If he's in a deeper league, he's rostered. However, in a 12-team league, if the running backs are scrambled up and taken, maybe you need to take that lottery ticket to see if something happens later in the season. Now we're looking at Quinton Johnson. This is another lottery ticket who should be available in a lot of leagues. He was dropped in a lot of leagues as well over the weekend. So he's a player that might be available to you, but he played on 50.8% of snaps in week 4, saw 3 targets, 53 air yards. So he's going to be getting some opportunity here and there. Josh Palmer is really the wide receiver after Mike Williams' injury that you wanted to get if you wanted to play it safe, get you 10, 11, 13 fantasy points per game. When Williams is out historically, Palmer gets you 13 fantasy points per game. It's good enough, not good enough to help you win your league. If Johnson hits on the back 9 of the season, it could be good enough to win your league. It could be about 18 points per game, and that's why people are hoarding him as a lottery ticket. The question is, how long can you hoard this guy? You're playing hot potato with a lot of these lottery tickets off the waiver wire, seeing what happens, but you also need to be taking shots at lottery tickets. He's another guy here getting opportunity in a fast-paced, high-volume offense that's coming off a bye week. Now we're looking at Keaton Mitchell here. 4.3 speed. He's going to be back soon. He's got to be back within the next 20 days, more like 15 days, because once he started practicing again last week, they had 21 days to bring him back up to the 53. They're letting him ramp up in practice right now. Soon we're going to catch that news that he's reinstated, he's back, he's going to be in games, and we're going to see him run with this running back depth chart, and then he's going to get the opportunity to push the pace, get opportunity to get some carries, some touches. He's a deep stash for a lot of people. You can stash him off waivers, drop your kicker, pick him up, put him on IR, bring another kicker up. do something like that. See what happens. But he's a cheap stash, and if you want to stash running backs with speed, if you want to stash a young running back with a ton of upside who's going to be going into an opportunity that's very ambiguous, this is going to be the guy. This is going to be the guy. I'm not saying it's going to hit. Not saying it's going to hit, but this is going to be the guy. This is the ticket that you want to explore for elite upside at the running back position that's left on the waiver wire. Last but not least, it's Elijah Moore. A lot of people dropped him last weekend, and he's a player that you need to explore because he's getting a lot of workload, a 21.6% target share, 7 targets a game. That's a lot of work. That means there's going to be some opportunity in a lot of these matchups coming up if he keeps getting that workload at this pace. 55 air yards per game. Right now he's scoring 7.5 fantasy points per game. That's why he's being dropped in a lot of leagues. But he should be floating around on waivers in a lot of leagues right now since he was a heavy drop last week. But workload matters. We chase workload, not fantasy points, because workload leads up to fantasy points. So in those plus matchups, off and on throughout the year, he's going to deliver production because if you're getting a 21% target share, 7 targets, run a lot of routes, those opportunities are going to add up and lead to fantasy points. But those are 10 players we're looking to get off waivers this week. We're going to have more videos on the waiver wire throughout the day and on throughout the week as well as we go deeper with each video. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, stop missing out, and I'll catch you on the next video.